Hello everyone! So this is the second part of the previous video of why I don't have my parrot anymore. So I meant to just do it in one video, but then I got caught up talking about how I got the bird and reminiscing about me actually acquiring this parrot. So as I stated in the last video, I used to have this bird in my room, and that's why my videos were so choppy and I had less train of thought, as well as all the drugs that I did back then. But my videos are more concise now. They're not like so crappily edited because I no longer have a bird screaming every single time I open my mouth, which has been a gigantic relief because it was so annoying. And even editing was annoying because he would hear himself scream in my video and then he would scream and it was just not good. So yes, I used to have a bird in my room. I had an albino Indian ringneck and now I no longer have him. People have been asking where he is. This video will explain it. So after I got this bird, I took him home. Well, I took him home, took him to the vet, then took him back home, and he has lived in my room for the past 6 years. Yeah, something like that. So where he was on top of my rabbit's cage. So I built my rabbit's cage out of cubes and coroplast, and I just put his cage on top of my rabbit's cage, which is not really ideal, but that was the only space that I had, and he was fine. So this bird was very mean, and he was a bird. He was just really mean because he was mistreated in his first home. I really did my best to rehabilitate him and train him and make him friendlier, and he did become significantly more friendly, but he still has quite an attitude problem. And yeah, so he lived in my room for 6 years. I started my YouTube channel and I had him, and he made an appearance in many of them by making noise and making his presence known. About 2 summers ago, I had a bed bug problem in this house. Now, I live in New York City, and in the time I've lived in New York City, in the 9 years that I've lived here, I have had bed bugs 3 times. 2 times in my first apartment in Brooklyn, 1 scare in Brooklyn. 1 time I found hotels in a bed bug, I found bed bugs in a hotel room that I stayed at, was able to avoid the problem. And then 2 summers ago, I had another bed bug problem in this apartment. So, I'm not really going to go into having bed bugs too much in this video, but I had bed bugs and I had to take care of it. So what I did was did all the bed bug protocol, moved my pets downstairs into the basement while the rest of my house was being treated. So basically, long story short, when I moved all my stuff back into my room, I moved everything back except for the bird. And that's why the bird's not with me anymore. Okay, but no, seriously. So what happened was I realized as I was moving, not only did I have like a bed bug problem, which I actually ended up remedying right away because I've had them so many times that I was able to take care of it, and it was probably like 1 bed bug and problem's gone. The bed bug is probably like trapped somewhere, like suffocating to its death before like it gets resurrected, when it gets some more air, when I free it inevitably by accident somehow, somewhere. But in the process of taking care of the bed bug issue, I actually realized that it had like a beetle issue. I had like carpet beetles, like obviously because I have carpet in my house, I had carpet beetles, which are like the gray and white spotted ones, and I also had flower beetles, which are like little brown ones. And I was going insane because like at first I was like, okay, like I have bugs, fine, I live in the wilderness in NYC, I get it. But then I started realizing that there were like a lot of them, and I didn't know where they were coming from. And I assumed that it was from like my backyard because I planted a garden and gardens attract bugs. So then I decided to close the window, and then my dad actually sprayed a bug spray like down in the garden, but the problem didn't go away. And so I just kept seeing these like little tiny beetles everywhere, and it was just driving me insane. And then I realized that my clothes had like little tiny chew holes in them, which is actually what really pissed me off, because I don't really care if bugs like cohabitate with me. As you can see in my previous videos, I love bugs. Bugs are friends most of the time. And I have videos of them because they fascinate me. But do not fuck with my things, okay? Like, you can do whatever you want in my room. Do not mess with my belongings. Do not. So I started noticing like my tank tops had like little tiny chew holes, and I was like, ah! Because I hate buying clothes. That should be another video too. Oh, look at all these ideas for videos. And so one day, so what happened is I have like bulk pet food in like big bags, and then, or like big bins, I mean. Like I pour them from the bag into the whatever. And then I have like little more manageable like containers that I actually pour the food from, and then I refill the small container with the food from the big container. That probably made no sense. But I ran out of bird food, and I go to refill the small container, and I open the big container of bird food, and like so many beetles, so many, fly out of there, and I like freaked out because now I just like opened Pandora's box of beetles into my room. And I was like, oh my, well, like, first of all, these beetles don't really hurt anyone or anything. They just eat your textiles. But there were so many, and I freaked out, and I like Googled why this was happening, and apparently it's just a thing that happens when you get like really old or like defective pet food. And because I buy my food in bulk, I had so much food that like I threw away the bag, and like it was well over the window of opportunity to return the food and complain about it. So I was just stuck with it. So basically what happened was I just got like a bad bag of food, which has definitely happened to me with like hamster food and with rabbit food, where like you get a bad batch and like moths come out of it, or like moths hatch, and then you have a moth problem. So I had a bad bag of food, and I had to like throw it all away, and now I had this gigantic pest problem because they reproduce like crazy, they chew on your textiles. I live in a carpeted home, and so like it was just bad. And you know, I just had the bed bug problem, and now it's just like I have this beetle problem, so I needed to pack all my things again and then put them in the basement again, and then get my entire house like steam cleaned professionally to try to kill all the bugs, which all the bugs are gone, but you never know. And so this time, when I moved everything back upstairs, I left the bird in the basement because I didn't know, like, if there were any more bugs, like, if you know, like the bird still had food in his tummy, if there were any more bugs, and if I moved back into my room, if like more bugs would reproduce, blah, 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 blah. And so the bird has been in the basement since that day. Luckily for me, because whenever I go down there, I still see those freaking flower beetles, and I really don't know like what to do, because now at least I know the source of the issue, and I've cleaned his cage. I like sprayed it down with a hose outside. Like I have a whole new batch of food. I don't know where these bugs are coming from, and they're just flower beetles, and they are like birthing more of them from like a mysterious place which I cannot pinpoint. So I just left my bird down there in the basement. It's a very sad life for him. I go see him like down there, but it's not the same as if he was in my room and I was waking up with him and, you know, like going to bed with him and spending time with him, because he's downstairs still like hatching flower beetles and carpet beetles somehow, some way. I don't know. But yeah, all the old containers are gone. He is in the same cage, but I washed it. I don't know. So I decided that it wasn't good for him to be stuck in the basement like by himself most of the day. The basement has windows, but it's still dark. And you know, he doesn't have as much interaction as he did when he lived in my room. So I did try to find him a new home, which proves to be a lot more difficult than I thought it would be, because honestly, there are so many people who like birds and there are so many people who want birds. But then I thought that because my bird is an albino, that it would be like, or he would be more valuable. But apparently not. Nobody wants an albino Indian ringneck. Why? No idea. So yeah, I tried. Nobody wants him. I'm still trying if I can find someone who's interested. And I have had people interested, but then they back out at the last minute. And my thing is, because I'm charging something, I'm not charging what I paid for him. I'm charging like a nominal adoption fee, because he is my bird and I do want him to go to like a good home and not end up as snake food, to be a pet, to be treated right. But then on the other hand, I think about it and I'm like, I took him out of a bad situation and I gave him the best life that I could. And now he's having a not so great life because of this issue that I'm having that I don't really know how to solve. I don't even know if getting like a new cage completely would solve that, because first of all, cages are expensive. And second, I don't know, like I really cannot figure out where this infestation is coming from, so I can't stop it. So like I don't want to move him back up here as bad as I feel. And I know I'm putting this out there and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate, because people don't like seeing animals being mistreated. And I don't think that I'm mistreating my animals, but could I treat them better? Yes. In the situation that I am having right now, is this the best that I can do? Yes. I don't know. See, now I'm just getting frustrated because I really don't know what to do. So, yeah, that's my story. You can hate on me all you want, but I mean, if this problem happened to you, I really don't think that you would do anything much different, other than live with it if, you know, having carpet beetle infestation doesn't bother you. But yeah, so this is the unfortunate end to this video. This is the story of what happened to my parrot and where he is now. So yes. Oh my god, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching my video. And you know, if I managed to move him up here again soon, I definitely will make an update about that. Questions, comments, and solutions are welcome. And yeah, so thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys later. Okay.